Welcome. My name is Ethan Long. I'm one of the co-founders of Rockaway Brewing Company with my partner Marcus Burnett. So we're happy to be here. We started Rockaway Brewing Company in 2012, right before Sandy hit, unfortunately. So with that, it slowed our progress of expanding as a business out here, but we've been fortunate enough to, over that time, watch the incredible community that was out here be able to come together, grow as a whole, and kind of rebound in kind of incredible ways. It was, it was pretty traumatic to be able to stand on this boardwalk and see it look like a giant roller coaster washed away, and not be able to use it and enjoy it as part of the community. To now, we've got this brand new boardwalk. We're all very excited to use it and enjoy it. So having the opportunity to kind of see the opening of the beach, whereas it's whole, is pretty amazing, because over the years we've had little bits that feel like we have tremendous progress, but then all of a sudden part of it's closed, there's other things going on. So we kind of feel like this year is like kind of a banner year where Rockaway will be more whole from end to end. So it gives us the chance to enjoy what we've over the years really love to do. I mean, my kids have grown up here surfing, Marcus's daughter and my daughter surfing together. We love surfing, brewing in our backyard, which was kind of the impetus to Rockaway Brewing, and being at the wonderful concession stands, having tacos, having wonderful food and wonderful people over the years has been quite amazing. So with this new beach, which we thank you to the city and the mayor and the Army Corps of Engineers, we're very excited to be part of a new and fun and hopefully wonderful summer. So I'll give you Mayor de Blasio.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you. Well, Ethan, thank you, first of all, for being such a really involved part of this community, creating jobs and bringing something to the people of the Rockaways that just makes a great community even better. And I appreciate what you said. There's been a lot of trials and tribulations. There's been a lot of tough moments. And the people of the Rockaways are finally looking forward to a chance to have the whole beach, the whole summer, to really be able to live with the peace and security of knowing that the beach is there, the boardwalk's there, the measures are in place to protect them. And so I really want to thank you for speaking on behalf of so many people here who've been waiting for this moment. This moment has finally come. Let's all thank Ethan. Appreciate it, man. To all the members of the community who are here and all the people who serve this community, I want to thank all of you. I want to thank you for the good work you do, and to all the residents, I want to thank you for your perseverance, your resilience. That is synonymous with this neighborhood. Through thick and thin, people stand up and they keep fighting to make it better. And I want to thank everybody for that. I was out here in those days after Sandy, and Ethan's right. When you saw that boardwalk just thrown into the middle of the neighborhood and you saw the destruction, the fires, everything that felt really overwhelming, it felt hopeless, it felt like something that you might never come back from. But this neighborhood always knew there would be a comeback. This neighborhood is strong and resilient, and everyone knew that with enough hard work we could build it back and build it better, and that's what happened. I want to thank everyone in the city of New York who worked so hard to get us to this day. I want to do a special thanks to the director of the Mayor's Office of Recovery and Resiliency, Janie Bavishi, for her great work. Thank you very much, Janie. We appreciate all you do. But here's a special moment for all of us, because you know what? Last year was painful for everybody. Watching that erosion, I heard from members of the community. I was at a town hall where people sounded the alarm and they said, look, the erosion is really getting out of control. We're really worried about what it means for our safety. We're also worried about what it's going to mean for our way of life, what it's going to mean for our businesses, whether people will know they can come to the beach. And it was not an easy decision to have to close off a section of the beach last year, because we had to do it for safety reasons, but it wasn't the kind of decision you ever like to make. And the whole question was, how quickly could we get to a solution? Well, I always believed the day would come, and I believed it would come sooner rather than later. And today is that day. This is a great day for the Rockaways. And this is a great day for New York City because you can see with your own eyes the change has come, that this beach is back and better than ever. And I'm going to say many times a profound thanks to the Army Corps of Engineers for the amazing work that they have done. And the Army Corps, from day one, I went down to Washington, I met with General Semonite. I said, General, can we get it done? And you're never going to meet someone who is more resolute, more can-do, more someone who knows that where there's a will, there's a way. You're never going to meet someone more than General Semonite who has that positive winning attitude. Now, it helps when New York City has skin in the game. So we put some money into this too, to make sure this would get done and get done fast, because it mattered to the people of the Rockaways. So with the great, great effort of the Army Corps and with the support of the City of New York, the day has finally come, and I am pleased to say that starting on Memorial Day weekend, the beach will be reopened from Beach 92nd to Beach 103rd Street, reopened for all. Now, you know, everybody, you don't always, when I say the word government, you don't always think of the word fast. And the idea here was that the government had to move fast because people really needed it. And that involved a lot of people focusing. And I want to tell you that your representatives in Washington really cared about this. Senator Schumer, Congressman Meeks, they really cared. They made this a priority. They talked to me a number of times. I know they talked to the Army Corps. And they said, whatever it takes, we got to get this done for the Rockaways. And they understood that it could be done if we all focused. When you think about where we've come from, when we think about how tough the situation was after Sandy, it is really a reminder of the best that happens when people put their minds together. And this boardwalk, something special to remember, because out of the ashes, if you will, of the past boardwalk, out of the destruction we saw after Sandy, came a new boardwalk that's also a resiliency barrier, 5.5 miles, providing a barrier to protect the people of this community. And now with the new sand, we're going even farther. But we are not stopping there. And I know the General's going to talk about this, because he's got big plans ahead. Big plans to protect this community and to protect a lot of New York City. And I have to tell you, we are in very, very good hands. And a lot more resiliency is going to be there for all of our families and for our future. Before I bring on the General, I just want to say a few words in Spanish. Hoy es un gran día para nuestra ciudad. Hoy anunciamos la reapertura de toda la playa de Rockaway justo a tiempo para el verano. El año pasado tuvimos que cerrar una parte de la playa debido a la gran erosión en la arena. Sin embargo, hemos colaborado con el gobierno federal para resolver este problema lo más rápido posible y ahora podemos disfrutar toda la playa de nuevo, which means now everyone will be able to enjoy the entire beach this summer. So this man and his whole team, and he was just wonderful about giving all the credit to everyone else, introducing me to everyone else, but I want to give some credit to him. You know what? You got a lot of people in this world who tell you what you can't do. You got a lot of people who try and talk you down and tell you, well, we can't do all that. This is one of the few people I have met, particularly at the federal level, who said, we can do it, we can do everything that needs to be done, we can do it fast, help us with some of the resources, but we can get the job done. And General, I have to tell you, it was music to my ears then, and that day in Washington we said, one day we will stand here and we will look at this new beach and we'll all be proud and we'll all be happy for this community. That day has come. Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant General Todd Semonite.
Thanks so much,
Well, Mr. Mayor and all the people from Rockaway, it really is a pleasure to be here, and it's an exciting day. And you talk about teams. I mean, this could not have been done without this great teamwork. The teamwork by the city, the Parks Department's been phenomenal. We had a great contractor. Weeks was our dredger and did a phenomenal job. And then Jeff Milhorn, he's the division commander, lives at Fort Hamilton. We've got one of our 9 divisions right here in New York City, and his entire team really stepped up to make this happen. I just want to let you know that the Corps of Engineers has been working in New York City for 243 years. We've been around a long time. We started this project back in the 70s, and whether it's what's happened in the past, the present, or in the future, we're going to continue to be able to take care of the residents of this community and to be able to make sure we're thinking through coastal resiliency. The mayor is exactly right. He came down to Washington, D.C. I don't have a lot of mayors that walk in my office, and he said, we need some help. We actually had a project about 3 miles in Inlet, Rockaway Inlet, that had to be dredged out. We were going to dredge it in 2020, a year away. The sand that we would dredge is very, very good sand, but it's 3 miles up the beach. So the mayor asked us, what can we do innovative? Think out of the box. So we took that dredging project and we made it a year earlier. We made it the last 2 months, but then we also had to move that sand 3 miles all the way down here. And working with Weeks, they did a phenomenal job. About a $12 million project, ahead of schedule, below cost. And then the mayor there was some extra money we needed, $2.7 million. The mayor was very, very important in making sure that we got that to be able to pump it down. 348,000 cubic yards. If you took a football field and put all that sand on a football field, it'd be about 20 stories high. Pretty interesting thing. And I want to hit a couple of my guys from New York District that really were instrumental. Alex Gregory, Dan Fault, Michael Osbach, and the rest of the crew, Tom Asbury. Let's give them a round of applause. But here's the point. We can't just keep rebuilding these beaches. We got to make them stronger and more resilient. Mother Nature gets a vote. And as much as this looks great, it's going to even be tougher in the next year or 2 years. So we've got another project coming. We're right in the middle now of getting this on contract, ready to roll it out. And let me just quickly tell you what the bigger project talks about. And it's really the Rockaway restoration. $573 million. It will take this existing berm and make it much, much stronger. We're going to put a rock base underneath that sand and make that sand go much, much further out. And then another couple 100 feet of sand out there. So what it's going to be is much, much stronger. But what's more important is groins. You've been asking for more groins for a while, okay? 13 brand new groins are going to go in. 5 of the groins up the beach have got to be extended. 1 of them has to be fixed. But basically, we're going to go 6.6 miles from 9th Street all the way to 149th Street. It can't just be right on the beach, though. It's got to be the backside. So back in Jamaica Bay, there are 4 different areas back there we've also got to protect. We're trying to go in with green solutions. So how can we put wetlands in? How can we do some degree of seawalls to be able to protect those people? So, Mayor, we're excited about the next phase because it's going to be about 3 years. What we've got to do is work with the local officials. We're going to be building, but we can't shut the entire beach down. We've got to do it in a very deliberate way where we're transparent and we're working with you. But just listen to this. I talked about 348,000 cubic feet. This next project is 2 million cubic yards. 2 million. If you were to take that same football field and put 2 million cubic yards on it, it'd be like a skyscraper 120 stories high. That's a lot of sand. And it's coming right out there. It's going to be nice, clean sand we're bringing in to be able to be more resilient. So we're excited to work with you. It all goes back to, I think, this idea that we certainly have in the Corps of Engineers is that we've got to continue to be more responsive. We've got to be a good value. We've got to be transparent. We've got to look to you in the eye and tell you good news and bad news. And I use the term, we've got to revolutionize the Corps of Engineers and probably other parts of the federal government to make sure we're doing what we're paid to do down in Washington, D.C. We're awful glad to be here.
General, I want to eat for breakfast whatever you eat for breakfast because this guy is all energy. I'm telling you, he's the exact same way when I saw him in Washington. All energy, all focus. And I just want to say on behalf of the people of this city, we are not only appreciative, we are proud of our Army Corps of Engineers. Let's thank them all. Now, again, this happened because there was focus, because of community voices that focused us, but also elected leaders who focus us. And there is no one who is more persistent when she knows something has to be changed, when she knows something has to be fixed. Melinda Katz finds me, and then she finds me again, then she calls me, then she writes me, then she calls me, then she finds me at a meeting and pulls me aside. Melinda has been adamant that this situation had to be addressed. So I want to thank her because that advocacy actually is the kind of thing that moves something to the top of the line and makes sure it happens. So today is also a day to thank your borough president, Melinda Katz.
Well, I'm not sure I can match the Lieutenant General's speech, but I will do my best. I also eat my Wheaties. But we want to thank the Army Corps of Engineers. You know, we had a meeting, I guess it was a year ago or so, in Greg Meek's office, Congressman Meek's office. We've spoken to the mayor a billion times, although I have to tell you, he's always available for me, and I do appreciate that. So Mayor de Blasio, thank you. Commissioner Silver, thank you for the work you do all over the borough. To the Director of Office of Recovery, we thank you. I know you're new on the job, and we welcome you. Jonathan Gasca, District Manager of Board 13, always, as I am in your ear, he is in my ear, and it all works out. So, you know, I'm sitting here thinking about what we're doing here. And you know, last year was almost like a bad joke, right? Last year, we had gone through Superstorm Sandy. We were fighting about the boardwalk. We got the boardwalk, and it's perfect. We then were fighting about the ferry that was stopped. And then it was a 5-borough ferry. So even when this mayor is gone, this ferry will continue because it's part of a 5-borough effort, and we appreciate that. We built the boardwalk out again with resiliency, and then we shut the beaches down. Right? It's like a bad joke. But as the mayor said, you know, the health and welfare clearly of our communities is of the utmost importance. And shutting of the beaches down didn't only affect the beaches, it affects the tourism, it affects folks that live here and the resiliency of the community, which, by the way, is the beginning of the resiliency for the rest of the borough. It affected our economic activity for all of the businesses, not only on the boardwalk around here, but inroads. So then we had to go and work on the biking and the bicycles to be available to go up and down, and it's a whole process. And I just want to point out, though, that because of the Rockaway's tenacity, because of the fighting that we do out here, because of all of you that are here every day in our ear and reminding us of the importance of this community, there's a full-time ferry, there's resilience across the rock, there is the new boardwalk, and now these beaches are reopened because of the work that really this community has done through the years. So it is a great thing for us to acknowledge the work that's been done to get us here. But I think all of us up here would acknowledge the fact that this community knows how to speak out, knows how to be loud, knows how to seek fairness and justice for the individuals that built it, and knows how to keep the community strong and tourists keep coming. So thank you for the work that you have done. I look forward to it. I think we're opening the beach in like 2 weeks, right? This is not the beach opening, for anyone that's a little unclear about that. This is simply a celebration of the reopening of so many blocks of beach that we are thankful to have. Congratulations to everyone.
Finally, I want you to hear from our Parks Commissioner. The same point that the borough president made. So we've been through a lot of agony and ecstasy when it comes to everything in the Rockaways. And I remember the day, Mitch, we were out here for this boardwalk opening, and what a beautiful, wonderful day that was, and a hopeful day. And then I remember the day where the discussions began about the challenge and the possibility we'd have to close part of the beach. And that was not a day any of us looked forward to. But it's so nice to come full circle, and I want to thank you and your whole team that has worked so hard to make this beach great for everyone and collaborated so well with the Army Corps so we could get to this day. Parks Commissioner Mitch Silver.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for your leadership. I remember last year, Borough President remember it well. It was the most memorable beach opening I can ever remember. There was literally a mock funeral with bagpipes. So all I can say is this year is the resurrection.
There you go.
So I'm very excited to be here today to mark the completion of this very important project and to celebrate the entire Rockaway Beach will be open again this summer. There are many people who worked hard to make sure that this announcement could be made. First, an enormous thank you to our federal partners at the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers who led this contract. Of course, Lieutenant General Todd Semonite and Colonel Thomas Asbury. Thank you so much. I won't reemphasize the mayor's passion for those that reached out to us for elected officials, but certainly want to thank Senator Schumer, Congressman Meeks, and of course, Borough President Katz, who not only has my work cell phone, but my personal cell phone, so he always knows where to reach me, for their support in making this happen. On a city level, this was a multi-agency effort that required everyone to work quickly and prioritize this contract to ensure that we can meet the deadlines to get this sand in place. I want to thank our first Deputy Commissioner at Parks, Liam Kavanaugh, who really played a lead role in securing this contract. Getting the beach open this year was important to Parks for the recreational standpoint, but it was also important for the economy and livelihood of the folks who live and work here in the Rockaway. As was stated, more than 300,000 cubic yards of sand was placed here, and it also provides a vital protection measure to ensure that our dunes stay in place. And we look forward to working with the Army Corps in their future project here at the Rockaway to ensure long-term protection of this peninsula. Thank you, and we look forward to having a great summer here at Rockaway Beach.
So I just want to conclude by saying that this is just a beginning. And General, thank you for the passion with which you spoke about the next phase. And we all know, you said Mother Nature, Mother Nature sends us a message a lot about the work we have to do to protect our communities. Mother Nature's not shy. We know the work of resiliency is going to go on for years and years. But what the Army Corps has proven, working with everyone here, is that it can be done, and it can be done right, and it can work. We're standing on this boardwalk. We should all be proud of that. We're looking at this beautiful new beach. We should be proud of that. There's a lot more to come. We're going to keep people safe. We're going to allow people to enjoy their summers just the way they deserve. And this is an example of doing things the right way, and a lot more to come. Thank you again, General. Your presence means so much to us. Thank you to all your colleagues from the Army Corps, and congratulations to the people of the Rockaways.
All right.